Hello, everybody. This is Anirban Roy here, your host today. We are going to talk about project management. I come from a background which is not in project management tools, so I was very intrigued as to what project management is all about. For the same, we have with us Mr. Devashish Bhattacharya, senior professional. He's worked across various industries, manufacturing, business consulting, IT strategy, and I'm looking forward to understanding what is project management, the criticality of project management, why project management, because हम तो Excel sheet use करते आए हैं. So taking the cue from there, Mr. Devashish, a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me here, Anirban. It
Thank you,
is a
sir.
pleasure,
Yes, sir.
right, talking about project management, which has been something that I've done for a lot of years of my life. It is interesting that while people talk about projects, many of us really do not appreciate what a project is.
Absolutely.
And as a result, we use improper tools. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
people think that a project can be managed using an Excel, which is absolutely a uh,
Conception.
misconstrued
Okay.
thought. Why? Because a project comprises a whole lot of activities which run in parallel and one after another. So there is a lot of dependency.
Okay.
The key part of project is managing those dependencies to ensure that the project is delivered within time, within budget, and within quality norms.
Okay.
Hence, understanding what all is required to execute the project, how the cash flow needs to be managed,
Okay.
how the resource deployment needs to be optimized, and how the project needs to be controlled. All these are constituents which result in success of the project or failure of the project.
Okay.
Right? Many organizations who think because a project is a series of tasks, an Excel can be used to manage.
Yes.
While we can put down timelines and activities and create a serial list of activities, an Excel really does not share dependencies. For
Okay.
example, if I am setting up a power plant,
Yes.
without foundation, I cannot set up the building, right? So I have written foundation as one task
Okay.
and building the walls as another task. But there is a dependency. Without the foundation, I can't start the
Walls.
walls, right? In Excel, there is no way I can define this dependency. Whereas in a project management tool, not only are the tasks defined, the tasks can be clubbed into modules, and we
Mm-hmm.
can define which of these modules or activities or tasks can run in parallel and can run serially, one after another.
Okay.
This assessment is important so that we can understand the most optimal timeline and hence how resource has to be deployed so that we are able to finish the project in time within cost budget and with maximum efficiency.
Okay.
Hence, project management, while it is a series of tasks, is something which is infinitely more evolved than just a series of tasks.
Okay.
Hence, it is important because in project management, most of us get usually only one chance to get it right. So it has to be first time right. It has to be within time, within budget, and within quality norms. Rework is not possible because any rework that we do
Okay.
only adds to the cost. And if we keep adding to the cost because of reworks or because of other complaints or risks that come up, then we are only ensuring that by the time we complete the project, we have run over the time, we have gone beyond the budget, and as a result, whether it gives value to the customer or not, we have lost out because we have lost money. Hence, we need to have systems and procedures in place which will keep the project absolutely in central view, and we will be able to track, monitor, and control the project. All these aspects are very, very important so that we can deliver a project.
Very interesting thoughts. Now, as a layman, generally we associate project management with maybe an engineering firm, like what you give an example of power plant or an IT firm. Now, in general, in industries beyond, let's say, engineering, manufacturing, and IT, how relevant is power project management today?
Project management is very important. Actually, if I want to stretch the point a bit further,
Yes.
let us take Maruti, for example.
Okay.
They went through a project phase when they set up the plant.
Mm.
They ran the process, stabilized the manufacturing, and now they are manufacturing. But if you look at the process by which they manufacture, then you will see there also there is a network of activities and tasks.
Mm.
For example, there will be a module called transmission,
Okay.
which will run independently, and then when it gets assembled to the main vehicle, that is the time when it will come into the visibility. Similarly, bodywork, similarly chassis, similarly manufacturing of the trims and the other components, all these are running parallelly
Mm.
till such time they come together on the assembly line.
Fair enough.
So manufacturing also technically is a project. Only thing is it has been done repeatedly over and over and over and over.
Okay.
So the dependencies are well known, right? Time frames and efforts are optimized, resource deployment is optimized, and cost can be controlled.
Okay.
So today, technically, we talk about project as a one-time venture, which is doing something new, right? For example, we are setting up a substation.
Mm.
While the substation of a specific rating may have been done many times over, but it is being set up at a new location where the soil properties are different,
Okay.
where the weather is different, atmosphere is different.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, there are some customizations which need to be done. For example, if we are setting up a plant in a place where the soil does not have strength, we need to pack the soil. So that
Yes.
becomes an additional activity, additional outlay. And
Okay.
hence, there is a change in the budget,
Okay.
right? So a project can be, for our conversation, we can take it as a venture which is taken to do something new,
Mm.
and yet it has to be made successful for all the stakeholders. Hence, the concept of first time right. Hence, the concept of visibility of all activities, modules, and everything, their dependencies, quality,
Okay.
and ensuring that we are able to do it within the time, budget, and other constraints. So, constraint management is one of the critical aspects of the project. Risk management is another critical aspect of the project. And overall control, communication, and ensuring that all the groups of people and resources
Mm.
work in synchronization is another critical aspect of the project.
Okay. Basically, getting all the stakeholders together and
No,
ensuring that.
everybody doing things
Okay.
at the right time so
Okay.
that they come together at the right time.
Fair enough.
So when we are doing a project planning,
Mm.
we start from the outcome and walk backwards
Okay.
so that we know at what point of time which component or which module or which aggregate has to come together, right? And then develop each one of those in a similar manner. Go from end to the beginning.
Into the beginning.
So then at the end, we will have a network of activities, which when we see diagrammatically, we can understand which
Okay.
ones are dependent on some other activity or module or task, and which ones are critical and they have to be run only one after another. So the longest path that we have,
Mm.
having adjusted the parallel and serial activities, is called the critical path. Monitoring the critical path of a project becomes the most critical activity,
Okay.
because that is what is a path that cannot be shortened any further.
Fair enough.
We cannot break it down into something which can be done in parallel. We cannot try.
Thank you, sir. It was really an eye opener. Especially, we always thought project management is only about projects, but the financial part is so critical. Getting everybody together is so critical. It actually was an eye opener. Now, taking further, where all do we actually, other than let's say engineering and manufacturing, where all project management can be used or being used and should be used?
Okay. One of the most relevant examples is marriage,
You're coming to your
right?
life.
Absolutely. You
Interesting.
start from something which is completely unknown
Absolutely.
till the time either you separate or you depart. It is a work in progress. And you
Okay.
are always learning something, and so it is a project management. You are managing multiple things, multiple balls that are jumping all over you,
Fair enough.
right? But on a serious vein, setting up, let us say, of the Satluj Yamuna Canal is a
Okay.
project
Yeah.
because it is a venture which is being done for the first time. Even though engineering component wise, it means digging, connecting to rivers,
Hmm.
ensuring that water flows, etc., etc. But still, it is a huge, humongous task which has many unknowns. Hence, it is a project which has to be done first time right. You may have seen a aqueduct in Magdeburg where you have the sea.
Yeah.
On top of the sea, there is a cross channel where a ship is moving because there is another path for water to flow on which. Now, that particular aqueduct is also a project. Why? Because when you have such a huge volume of water moving
Hmm.
and on top of it there is a ship which is moving, the complexity that goes into designing that duct through which the water and the ship will move is
Okay.
phenomenal, right? And there is no scope because of because the capital deployed is so high. There is no option
For a second chance.
for a second chance, right?
Very critical.
Setting up a power plant, setting up a nuclear plant, setting up a refinery, all these are projects. Building the national highway is
Hmm.
also a project,
Yes.
right? Anything that we can do to ensure that the tasks become manageable. We have been able to identify and preempt the risks, right? And increase efficiency. All add to the deployment of resources, consumption of cost, and improved quality of project. So if you see project
Hmm.
in any form, it is applicable practically in all aspects of our lives,
All aspects.
all aspects of
All
our lives,
industries.
all industries, our lives. Building a house is a project. Building a township is a project. Drawing a water line is a project,
Okay.
right? Waste management, at least till the facility is set up, is a project. Water cleaning is a project. So there's so many things which are there. Something which then becomes repetitive,
Hmm.
it goes outside the ambit of project because the risks, the variabilities, and everything are known.
Okay.
But when it is done for the first
First
time,
time.
it is definitely a project.
Understood. That's a very clear, right, concise and clear for people like us who are really new. So now taking this further, it's a very natural question. Project management has been there for decades now, and the technology is evolving. The landscape is changing. Data is easily available, or like a huge amount of data is also available. Because as I understood, one of the critical aspects of success of project management is the kind of data inputs which you have. So given this landscape where the technology is evolving, where do you see project management? Will it be still relevant, or its relevance goes down, or we as humans don't use it at all?
Very interesting question. Project management is always going to be relevant, the way I
Sure.
think. What will change
Yeah.
is how we manage the project. There was a time
Hmm.
when, before any project was started,
Okay.
a proper planning was done. At that point of time, there were no computers. So
Yes.
people used to draw up Gantt charts and PERT charts
Yes.
on paper,
Hmm.
and they would set it up on a huge wall
Okay.
where you could physically see the tasks being laid out. And looking at that, you could understand the dependencies. And as a task would get completed, they would cross it out.
Okay.
Right. Today, we have much better methodology. We have tools
Okay.
which are able to draw up a project Gantt chart or a PERT chart based on the inputs that we give and allow us to track and monitor the completion status of the project. Or if, let us say, there is a problem that has occurred,
Hmm.
the impact on the total timeline and cost and everything. So we have better methods.
Okay.
However, even today, many people still use Excel because they are comfortable with it, not knowing that just drawing up a sequence of tasks with start and end dates does not make a project plan. We need
Yes.
to understand the interdependencies. so that we are clear that task number 5 can only be done after task number 3, but task number 4, 10, and 25
Hmm.
can be run in parallel,
Yes.
right? So this concept of interdependency is what makes project management complicated and difficult. You talked about data.
Yeah.
Today, data can be captured very easily,
Yep.
transmitted very easily,
Yes.
consolidated.
Okay.
So once the data is available at the control center, it is easy to analyze. Based on the analysis, we can take corrective action, even preemptive action,
Hmm.
right? The more preemptive actions we are able to take, the more manageable a project becomes. So use of technology, I see as a positive in project management, and the more time goes on, success and failure will be defined by the extent of technology we are able to use.
Excellent. That's a very interesting take. There's a manager of technology and project management, and somewhere down the line, the thought process of the person who is actually into project management is very important. Like you said, people are still using Excel, thinking it can be done, which is not true. I think we had a very, very good and interesting session. There a lot is one eye opener for us. Uh, my viewers, if you have any questions, please do put it in the comment box. We'll be glad to take it up in our next podcast. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Mr. Debashish.